Welcome, beautiful people. I'm very happy and honored that today Dragana Vasilijević-Valent is here with me. She is an experienced language teacher and a teacher trainer living in Vienna, Austria. Her teaching experience includes language courses at the Faculty of Philology, University of Belgrade, Academy of Applied Studies, Aviation Academy, University of Innsbruck, Austria, and many private language schools. In 2021, Dragana obtained a Ph.D. degree. Since 2019, she has been active as a teacher trainer for different publishing houses and teacher federations. In autumn 2021, she decided to leave academia and be officially dedicated to her online business, only without attachment to any institution. Since then, she visited more than 20 countries while developing her online business. Dragana worked with more than 200 online language teachers, helping them improve their online presence and launch email programs and video courses. Welcome, Dragana. I'm so happy to have you here with me.
Hi, and I want to say thank you for having me here. It's a great pleasure to be a guest on your podcast.
It's my absolute pleasure too. And you will forgive me for my language because I'm not a teacher or I did any professional courses. I just learned it during my education. And now it's basically my first language in my business. So that's like...
Well, I'm not an English teacher. I'm a language teacher, but not an English teacher. So
Anyway, just forgive me for any mistake that I did during reading your bio. You truly inspire me. When I saw what you're doing online, and we actually met one time in Belgrade, and I was following your work, and I'm very, very glad that you're here. But let's start with this. When someone wants to do something like you, or they want to start working online as a teacher, what would be the first step? What would you recommend?
well, the first step would be some kind of analysis of their strengths. For example, a SWOT analysis or something. So there is always a lot of things that we can do online, and most of my clients want to do everything at the same time. But I always suggest that they niche down. So in order to niche down, it's important to know your strengths and also what brings you a lot of money, what brings you a lot of pleasure, uh, what is something you can do without many preparation. And when you find a niche like that, then the next step would be choosing a social media, because you can be successful on any social media. For example, your favorite one is LinkedIn, my favorite one is Instagram, and we also have a lot of people who made it on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. So the next step would be to choose a medium on which you feel yourself at home. And then make a plan, make strategy, and just go for it. Like, I don't know any online teacher who positioned themselves good and who were persistent who didn't succeed.
So I love one thing especially which you just mentioned. Choose the channel where you feel like home. And I think it's true that people are trying to do all these things at all places, and they try to do all these things at once. But a step-by-step approach will give much better results, and you prove that, and I guess your clients too, and mine also. I love how you positioned yourself on Instagram, and I am following you every single day. You're doing a magnificent job. Like, it's truly a very valuable brand which you have developed there. And for anyone who believes that that is not possible, it is truly possible. The reason why I choose LinkedIn is exactly because I feel there at home. You feel at home on Instagram. So we can choose whatever we would like. But I think there is something much deeper. And when people decide to leave corporate or they decide to leave academia, and start their online business. Mostly, from my experience, they feel afraid. So, from your experience, when a teacher wants to leave a school or an academia or to start working their own projects online, how would you support them? What is the main core value practically, which you can share with us that can help them with the fear?
Well, usually I share the experience. I
Mhm.
try to work with people on their own goals so they can recognize what are they going to get
Mhm.
by going online,
Mhm.
because it doesn't seem real. Like 3 years ago, it didn't seem real to me
Mhm.
also.
Mhm.
Like I'm now going to post something on Instagram and people are going to come and buy my services. And it happened. Like I would suggest always making a plan and doing that additional to your primary job, because if you
Mhm.
have a day job, if you have something paying your bills, you're going to be more relaxed. You're going to create some valuable content, really thinking about your potential clients, not thinking about how you're going to pay your bills.
Mhm.
And so I always suggest that people go um, like together. They work, they go to work, and then they come home and they create some content. And after some time, usually within the first month, they start getting clients, and then it brings money, it brings pleasure. You see that your work is not just abstract, it's bringing your clients, it's bringing your clients you're a perfect match with. It's
Mhm.
also important. Like if you just do a small ad somewhere, you're going to get clients, but you're not going to know them. Like they're going to come from different parts. And if you're active on social media, you get clients who chose to work with you. Like they got to know you
Mhm.
through your content, and they wanted to work with you particularly.
Mhm.
And that's something what brings a lot of pleasure. And at some point you realize that you have enough clients to be living from your online business only. And
Mhm.
that's the point where you usually just quit and start working on your online business only without going to school, to academia, to your corporation. Sometimes it happens like after a year, sometimes you need more time, but
Mhm.
if you're persistent
Mhm.
and if you're dedicated, it will happen eventually. So I would always suggest making a plan and looking at lifestyles from another online workers and online teachers,
Mhm.
and just somehow visualizing yourself
Mhm.
living the life you want to live. It's not online business, it's not just about work. Like you can go to any online school and teach online. You don't have to make your own business. But
Mhm.
if you make your own personal brand, if you build it because you want to build your life around that business and have more time for traveling in my case, or for family in case of some another people. So you can basically visualize your goal, and then it will be easier to do all the necessary steps.
What you just shared with us, Dragana, is gold. Because I also started that way. I was in corporation and I was building my own business as a side hustle. And that's a beautiful place to start. We don't have to, quit and then jump and feel insecure and feel the fear, which I mentioned. And, people are watching us doing our things online. And I really love what I do. And I think that energy is, like fluid, it can be seen, and they believe they're not good enough to do something like that, or they believe that that's not true, that can be possible, right or left, but it is. And this is why I'm sharing this story. It is possible, it is true. You don't have to quit right away, you can play with it. It's just a playful thing to do. For example, now I have every Friday to spend with my son. I
Yeah, it's beautiful.
that I couldn't do that in corporation. It's called Moms and Son Day, and we have the whole day for with one another. And I can, plan or travel like you just mentioned. And I want to share that excitement with people. I want them to see people like you succeeding in that and actually trying. Just try, make a simple, small step, and then you'll see how it goes. Do you remember how you felt when the first client bought your program or hired you to work with you? What was the feeling?
Well, it's a funny story. I made my Instagram account and I was posting like for 6 months, and then I published that I'm doing my workshop. It was a monetize your language skills
Uh-huh.
workshop, and I wanted to work with 6 people only,
Mm-hmm.
and 13 people asked for paying data, and I I wasn't able to believe like there are so many people who want to work with me, and I say data to everyone, and the next day I had 12 payments, and the workshop was live like in Belgrade, so I understood that I actually need to have 2 days. So I just called everyone and said, okay, I wasn't expecting to have this many people, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to book I don't know this office for an additional day, and we're going to split in 2 groups, and no one was offended. Like everyone said, yeah, that's cool, congratulations, like it's amazing. And well, I was surprised. I believe that my program is good, and now like after 3 years I have a lot of clients who made their own online business to prove that. But at the moment, it was the first time someone did something like that in Serbia. So it was a new thing, and I didn't expect that people are going to be that much interested, only based on my content, on things I posted online, on videos, and that was 3 years ago, so also many written posts, and yeah, that was amazing. And after that, I was always counting on that if I want to introduce a new program, there will be people willing to buy it. So it was a huge lesson for me also that yeah, it doesn't need to be difficult. Like, I don't know what was the case in your family, but I was raised to believe that you have to work hard. And if you
Exactly.
want to sell something, it's not going to be easy. You need to be very persistent. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be like boring to people so they would buy. And that was actually the first post about me selling something,
Mm-hmm.
and they came right away. So it was something new, and the situation this is the situation I always tell about my clients, so they can believe it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the language teacher who start building their brand on Instagram, they get their first client within 7 or 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that is going to happen like n- after, I don't know, a year or something. My
Mm-hmm.
situation was different because I wasn't selling one-on-one lessons. I was selling a kind of short-term coaching program. So I needed to create more content before selling.
You needed the brand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I needed to build a brand. But if you're a teacher and if you show yourself, like people can hear you speak, people can read your posts, uh, there is always going to be someone who was waiting for exactly that kind of teacher. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this story. It's so beautiful. And the fact that you needed to book another day, it's just so inspiring because people need to hear that. People are mostly afraid when they start doing something that things will go this way or that way. No, it will. What if you fly? It's just like I will fail. No, what if you fly? And hearing these kind of stories make them believe in themselves first of all, and then they will most probably step out. And as an online business owners, it's not just about how we present what we do, it's about how we affect people, and do we inspire people, are we generous to people, and everything is about them. And that's exactly what the result of this your first experience showed, because you are just like that. You are all about people, and we see that, we feel that. This is why I invited you to be a guest on my show, because you're completely in alignment with you know my main mission is to help people do what they love, and to turn their online presence into a force for good. And that's exactly what you do. So thank you so much for being here with me. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Most people are used to thinking that there is only language teachers can offer one-on-one. And you just mentioned different possibilities. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? What a language teacher actually can offer online?
Well, we all know that we can offer one-on-one lessons and group courses. That's something we can always do, but I would always suggest going one step further and thinking about email courses, thinking about video courses, thinking about language coaching, which is also one-on-one work, but not on learning, I don't know, present simple tense, but working on your on your planning of learning, on your organization, on your goal achieving. Then I would suggest organizing different kind of challenges, which is also very popular. Like those are small bite-sized lessons people receive through any kind of messenger or per email, and they stay in contact with the language every day. And I also suggest organizing things like, I don't know, a language course for summer that you're going to receive materials you can use while lying on your beach. Or, for example, we organized last year, I did it for my clients, and some of my clients did it for their students. We made advent calendar, like people applied to receive a bite-sized lesson every day in December. And it went really well. Like you can make those lessons. You can choose a program you're going to send them with, and you just click your send button, or you don't even have to do that. Like you can make it automatically. So yeah, it's a perfect thing, and people receive a piece of lesson, a piece of material they're going to learn, and they receive also a piece of joy, because if we attend courses, it's all about hard work. It's in a group, and even if you play, it's something you need to come, I don't know, on Monday at 7 o'clock, and it's something that you only need to do at some specific time, and you need to cancel all possible plans. But if you attend any kind of self-paced program, you can actually incorporate that language learning in your life. At that particular moment, you have the time and energy to do that. So I think that the future of language learning will be not about one-on-one lessons and courses only, but also about tailor-made self-paced programs, and then you choose how you're going to do it. If you're going to do it through, I don't know, any kind of messenger or per email, or you're going to do a website only for that. And I also encourage my colleagues who had any kind of experience outside of schools that they include that in their offer, because many people learn foreign languages in order to move abroad or in order to find another job. So sometimes if you're not able to work one-on-one, and if you're not going to make any kind of course, you can just make packages for people for a specific purpose. For example, you can make, I don't know, a program where you can check a CV of your client and help them writing a motivation letter, and then in addition to that, they have one-on-one simulation of an interview. So it's a kind of package where you only need to be for 1 hour one-on-one with a client, and everything else you can do anytime you want. So you have less one-on-one time, because that's something we are all trying to avoid, like one-on-one time, because it's always better to have your time for yourself and to choose where and when you work from.
I adore what you just said. A tailor-made programs for a specific purpose. This is like gold, guys, what she just shared with you. And it doesn't have to apply just to any kind of, language teaching online business. It can be applied to any online business because it's so cool, because people need specific things in small bites. And then if you prepare something like that, you can very simply teach them without even being present, have your time for your family or traveling or whatever you would like, and they will still get the results.
And they will be able to pay more for it. I think
Yes.
it's important to emphasize that, like, people learn foreign languages for different purposes, and some of them are not just students or people who need to pass any kind of exam. There are also people who are doing business in a foreign language. And
Mhm.
for example, if you offer any kind of English course for non-native speakers who need to learn public speaking in English as a second language,
Hello.
they're hello, yeah, they're going to be more than happy to get the opportunity to learn that, like not to be prepared for any kind of test they don't need, but just practicing the thing they are going to need in their everyday life, in their business. And it was lovely to see for. Like I saw that a few days ago, someone was organizing English lessons for yoga teachers.
Oh, that's
Like
good.
yeah, like they made a video course and a lot of materials, especially for yoga teachers who are teaching their classes in English or they're planning to start. Like that's a perfect example of a good niche.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you recognize that there is a group of people who need something, and then you offer something like that. And any yoga teacher would prefer to take that course and work with those materials than just attending some course and learning some textbook they don't need.
Exactly, exactly. And look at my niche, for example, or my customer segments, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, small business owners. We all need to show up online. We all need to speak. We all need to go to stages. We all need to go to summits. We need you. you know? So that's the point, because when you go globally, you will use other language. And in my case, I was afraid when I was starting out 7 years ago. And then my mentor told me, well, you sound smart when you speak English, so just do it. So just that one sentence helped me to get out there. But still, that is not my native language. I can express myself and my business much better in my native language. So this is very huge, very powerful niche, which can pay a lot to be guided into the right direction, right? So thank you so much for sharing this. This is so cool. Do you remember when we were kids, there were those books when you read a story and then you choose if you want to go left or right, if you want the story to develop this way or that way? My son adores them. They're back now.
Yeah, they're
So
perfect.
this tailored program reminded me of this. There are general lessons, for example, but then you choose what you need, and then you practically can go from there. Would you like to share a little bit with my audience what you exactly do, how you offer them, how you help people, and where they can find you?
Well, they can find me on my website, dragana.pro/English.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm usually working with people from West Balkan countries,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just starting writing in English, so my online presence in English is entry level. But you can find me on Instagram, the traveling teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what I actually do, I work with teachers who want to do basically the same thing that I do, like teaching online, organizing courses, workshops, selling ebooks, organizing email programs, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And we analyze their strengths and we make strategy.
Mm-hmm.
How to, what to write, where to show up, how to guide your potential audience to your product.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just from the beginning, from the day one, from the idea, I want to show up on Instagram and sell my services to the day when it actually happens. So for foreign clients, I only offer working one-on-one now at the moment. And for the clients in West Balkan countries, I offer also a group workshop, Monetize Your Language Skills.
That's so nice. Don't worry. I have a lot of our people listening to this podcast. So yeah, they will hear this. Actually, they are mostly somewhere abroad, but they understand. Let's have some fun, shall we?
Yeah.
We're going to dive into second part of the interview where I will ask you a few quick questions and you have like 10 seconds to answer to me. A little bit of pressure, nothing else. My audience love that. And you will hear the ring bell when the time is up. Are you ready? Yes. Is there anything you would like to say to your younger self?
Yes, I would say to her, listen to yourself only and try everything out what seems attractive to you.
Perfect. What is the best piece of advice you ever got?
If you don't know what price to offer, just offer the price you're not going to be lazy to work for.
That's so cool. And so true. We feel, right? You feel when the price is right. It's just a feeling, and you want to work for that. So yes, of course. And the third one, what would you like to do at your spare time?
I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
I love visiting rooftop cafes. That's the kind of hobby, like in every city, I need to visit one. That's something that makes me relaxed and inspired.
Mm-hmm. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for being my guest. I truly enjoyed, and I hope you did too.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I wish you the best luck of all and hope to see you in person in Belgrade or somewhere else.
Sure, I feel we will. Bye bye. Ciao.
Bye.